Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be making a pumpkin spice and Jesus Christ tumbler. It's just a fall tumbler. I spray painted using purple and coral, white and gold. I let that off gas because I do use Crystal-Lac. If you're new to Crystal-Lac or you don't even know what it is, it's a water-based product. It's an epoxy alternative. So it is completely safe to use. You can put it on with your bare finger. You don't need PPE. It's amazing and I love it. So here you're going to see that I'm putting the glitter glue after I've off-gassed. And what you notice about this gold paint is you see how it's repelling it. You see how those circles are appearing, or spots or patches, whatever you want to call it. So a lot of people have had this issue with gold paint. Stay with it and trust the process. Continue to put that glitter glue on there. Just continue to brush it on and on and on. I put a really good coat on there, and then I go over it 2 or 3 times and you'll notice it's not repelling anymore. So continue to paint on your glitter glue and it will stop repelling. So here I'm using some Athena by Peachy Olive Glitter. It's beautiful gold mix. I absolutely love this gold. And I prefer to glitter by holding the cup. A lot of people prefer to do it on a turner. I know a lot of times I go out of camera here. I apologize for that. I just have a basic setup, so I can only do so much with my setup, and I'm sorry. I'm really trying to remain, paying attention to the fact that I need to stay on camera. So for those that are annoyed that I keep going out of camera, I'm so sorry. So I'm just going to sprinkle that glitter on to the gold areas that I spray painted. And then I will use some scissors to tap the top of it to make the excess glitter come off. And then I'll move on to my next color. This is Zodiac, also by Peachy Olive Glitter. I absolutely love this one. This is a smaller cut of Figgy. I actually prefer Zodiac over Figgy. And there's a chunky cut of it too. I think it's called Flynn. Actually, let me double check that. I'm going to come look. Yes. The chunky version of that is called Flynn. Of course, it's named after Miss Jessica Flynn, who, if you don't know who she is, I encourage you to check her out. She has Flynn Sisters Boutique, Flynn Sisters Community Facebook groups. She's amazing and teaches some really great techniques. She also has a YouTube channel, and she's an ambassador, I would say, or an affiliate for Peachy Olive Glitter, so she has a discount code for those glitters. I love Jessica Flynn. She is awesome. She is an epoxy user, but I love to see what she does with epoxy, and then a lot of times I'll try to recreate certain looks just to show that you can do mostly the same things with Crystal-Lac that you can do with epoxy. There's only a few things you can't duplicate. So there I've glittered it, tapping off between each color. And now I'm going to use a glitter glue mixed with water. It's 2 parts glitter glue, 1 part water. I took it outside and I sprayed my whole cup with that. I got that spray bottle from Walmart. It was only $1. And it works great. It never clogs up. I never have any issues with it at all. And I don't even clean the nozzle after each use. So after I sprayed it, I immediately went in and started glittering again to make sure I get really good second coverage. So there I'm tapping it off again. We'll blend those lines better with some paint a little bit later on. So then I went and sprayed it again. Yep, I glittered, sprayed, glittered, sprayed. Now let it dry for 4 hours before I start before I smoosh and then start Brite Tone. So here you can see what it looks like after a layer of Brite Tone, and then I smoosh it again because it gets it all into those crevices. So after about 4 or 5 layers, I'm going to use a 400 grit sanding pad, and this is how I sand. I know that the key is to lightly sand. You don't want to do it too roughly, but I figured since I've never shown you in a video before how I do it, I would do that this time. I go around the top rim really well. and all down the sides, and of course on the bottom. So I've seen some people say that after they sand, they rinse their cup and then dry it off with microfiber or dry it off with paper towel. That's what I do. I rinse it under cold water and then I just dry it off really well with paper towels. I've seen some people say that they wash it with Dawn dish soap in between each sand. I'm not sure why you would do that. I don't recommend doing that. I just use regular water and paper towels. So if your glitter is pretty jagged and sharp, you want to make sure that you check if you do use paper towels to make sure you don't leave any paper towel behind. So now I'm showing you how I dried off. I rinsed it under cold water and now I'm just drying it off really well, making sure I get off all the water and that there's no sanding dust left behind. And that's after the first sand. You'll notice the glitter's really flat, even though some of that is chunky, and it's because I smoosh after it dries from glittering, and then after I put my first layer of glitter glue, or not glitter glue, I'm sorry, my first layer of BT, I smoosh it again after it dries. So I'm using metallic gold, jack-o'-lantern orange, and a burgundy acrylic paints. I'm just using a stir stick, a metal stir stick, and I'm just kind of dragging it across there. This is after I've gotten my cup smooth. So you don't want to do this when it's still rough and jagged. You want to get it as smooth as you can, or mostly smooth. It's okay if there's some rough spots on the cup because you're going to put down your vinyl and you're going to continue layers and get that really good glassy finish by the time you're done with it. I don't really know if I like this cup or not, but I thought, what can I do that's fall related, that will be cute, and I wanted to show, you know, how I do a cup from kind of start to finish. So I don't know, you guys will have to chime in and tell me, is it a keeper or no? Do you like it or not? It's okay to say no, because I don't even know if I like it. I also used Halos, which is an orange by Peachy Olive, and I used Glitter Chimp, Girl's Best Friend, for the white. So I'm just dragging that paint on there with that stick. Doesn't have to be perfect. And then here in a few minutes, you'll see that I take a paper towel and kind of drag it through that paint a little bit. Give it a better look to it so it's not clumpy or goopy in certain areas. You could also mix it with a little bit of Brite Tone and put it on that way. I choose to just do the paint by itself, and then I put a little bit of Brite Tone on top of it. Now it is going to be wet, so I try to make sure that I keep checking my finger there. If I notice that there's a lot of the paint color on my finger, I'll wipe my finger off before, you know, putting some more Brite Tone over another color. See there? There's some burgundy coming off, so I use a different finger. I don't want to blend and mix those paint colors together, but I do want to get them moving just a tiny bit. So that's what I did there, and then I continued to add Brite Tone until every 4 hours until I got my cup smooth. And now I'm just going to put my vinyl on. I'm using a holographic orange and also a textured gold vinyl. That textured gold as well as that holographic orange are Cricut brand vinyls. That I'm using a pin as well. I got it from I think it's 143 vinyl now, but it used to be 651 vinyl. But I love those pins. They have lifetime warranties. If anything happens to them, I had one that arrived broken, and they replaced it for free, and they let me know that if anything happens to the replacement, if it cracks, if it breaks, whatever the case may be, to just reach out to them because they do have lifetime warranties. It's called a PIN, so pin, and it's got this needle tip that's really good for weeding your vinyl. It doesn't look like it's that great using this because this is a thicker vinyl, so it's a pain in the butt. but I love that thing. I use it all the time. And I'm also using a lint roller to put the vinyl on because it's sticky, so it attaches to it really quickly. I have one of those like rubber ring things that you can wear on your finger or set it to the side. I don't really think those work very well, so I just prefer that lint roller. So here I'm using my transfer tape so that I can put that gold over top of that. Man, my brain just died. Offset. I'm putting the gold on top of my offset. I created that in Cricut. I'm so thankful that we now finally have that feature. It is so helpful. So there you'll notice that I could have done the whole thing at once, but for little pieces, I prefer to just do them separately. I don't know why. I guess maybe because I have less of a chance of the vinyl wrinkling up when I do it that way. And I made some little outlines of pumpkins. So here on the burgundy section, I'm going to put the wording. It says pumpkin spice and Jesus Christ, because those are my two favorite things. And I just eyeball it. I don't use a laser. I don't use a ruler. I eyeball it. So you're going to press that down really well. Make sure it's stuck down really good. You'll notice I got some glitter on the inside of my cup, but that's not going to be a problem later because I put coconut oil on the inside rim of my cup. That way, when it's finished, I can go in and wipe it out, and it just wipes everything out of there. If there's any paint, if there's any Brite Tone, if there's any glitter, it'll wipe it right out. So I'm pulling that transfer tape off, and there you can see my wording. And now I'm going to put those little tiny lines, kind of like quotations, but there's 4 of them, so I guess not. I don't know what you'd call it. Then there's 2 little leaves and a little heart, so I'm going to put those on there individually. And if you are interested in this cup, if you love it or you know someone that would love it and you would like to purchase it, then just reach out to me and let me know because it will be available as soon as I get it all smooth and glassy over that vinyl. As of putting this video up, I'm still working on it, but as soon as I get finished with it, I'll put the finished pictures in the Crystalac Advanced group as well as the Sassy Epoxy and Crystalac Crafters group. I'm an admin on both of those groups. Now I'll tell you, getting the transfer tape off of that holographic vinyl and off of that textured vinyl is a beast. Like, it does not like to pull it up, and I use pretty sticky transfer tape, so you just got to work with it. I flip it over upside down and then like slowly kind of pull it up, and if it's not sticking, then I'll burnish it back down. But I mean, it's a process and it's kind of a pain in the butt, but those are some gorgeous vinyls, so I deal with it. I mean, you can tell there me trying to get that off. It's really sticky transfer tape, but it's a pain using those holographic and textured vinyls. Plus, I have no fingernails, and I have sausage fingers, so there's that too. But there we go. And then I'll put the other 4 little lines on the bottom right. If there's like a certain type of design or cup that you guys would like to see, feel free to send me a message or reach out to me because I'm always trying to figure out what can I do to help this channel grow. Like, what do you really want to see? What would be helpful for you? There's so many videos out there. I mean, there's tons of different crafters that do, you know, beginner videos and things like that. So I don't really want to kind of do a beginner series just because those are already out there. But if there's like techniques that you want to see, or you just want to see a certain design made, I mean, reach out and let me know. So there I've put on my wording, and now I'm going to put those pumpkins on the gold part. I also, this might be helpful for some of you. I noticed when I started using the modern style cups that when I use my little half football on the PVC pipe, sometimes if I tap too hard, when I tap the glitter off, it would just fall right out of that cup. So I use shelf liner, just a strip of it that I wrap around the football part, and it keeps it really snug inside that cup. So there's a helpful tip for some of you if you have issues with the cup trying to come off of that PVC pipe, football, noodle, whatever you use. Generally, my videos are a lot shorter than this because I don't put like all the details of everything, but for this particular one, I wanted to put as much as I could of my process. That way you guys would be able to see more of how I do things. I have an Etsy shop as well, and it's listed in the description of each of the videos, both of the groups that I'm an admin in, as well as my Etsy link. I also sell earrings, so I'm going to start possibly doing some tutorials for earrings. If that's something that interests you, let me know. Polymer clay earrings, I have tons of them up on my Etsy shop. Check them out and let me know what you think of those. And I'm also on TikTok. I do some quick short videos of techniques and tips and how I do some of my earrings. So I put a lot of content on my TikTok. And here's what she looks like now that has a few layers on. I just wanted to take a video real quick so that way you can kind of see the whole cup and how it's coming along. So what do you think? Yay or nay? Thumbs up or thumbs down? You let me know. I'm not always the best at just coming up with ideas on my own, so you just let me know if this is something that you think is great or not. And once I get completely done, I'll post the pictures.